You are welcome to my YouTube channel Pakistan 360. India-China Galwan Valley dispute widens its spectrum. New developments have surfaced which have enhanced the gamut of dispute to the already tense relations between India and China over Galwan Valley issue. These now encompass diplomatic, military, and economic fronts. Diplomatic front. In a surprise move, Russia has decided not to become party to resolve the dispute between the two neighbors, thereby meaning, having not supported the Indian stance. The Foreign Minister of Russia, Sergei Lavrov, while issuing a statement said that India and China don't need foreign intervention to diffuse the tension and resolve issues on the border dispute. The statement comes ahead of the meet scheduled between the three nations, Russia, India, and China. While on the other hand, Chinese military spokesperson has announced that India is the one which has forced its way into the Galwan Valley. So, India is changing the status quo along the line of actual control that has angered the Chinese. These statements amply negate Indian media's rhetoric of making a breakthrough for peace talks with China after meeting of its senior military and diplomatic leadership. These diplomatic flops have occurred despite Prime Minister Narendra Modi's keen desire for an early resolution of the border dispute and New Delhi's effort to acquire crucial Russian support on the issue, as it risks a drop in popularity if the army suffers more losses. Military front. In order to enhance its combat capabilities after clash with China, India has speeded up its contacts with Russian government for early delivery of S-400 missile system and procurement of new jets. S-400 anti-aircraft missile defense system. India is pushing Russia to speed up the delivery of a missile defense system as ties with China deteriorate following the worst military clash at border. Indian authorities intend to seek the advanced delivery of the Russian S-400 anti-aircraft missile defense system, which were due in December 2021. India and Russia signed the S-400 deal worth more than $5 billion in 2018. The missile system will boost the capability of the Indian Air Force, which is currently facing depleted strength of fighter squadrons, having only 32 in its inventory instead of required 42 squadrons. However, the US has cautioned India against buying the S-400 system, saying the purchase would have a serious impact on Washington-New Delhi defense ties. Fighter procurement plans. India's Air Force expected to add 33 Russian-made fighter jets to its fleet on urgent basis. Amid rising tensions between New Delhi and Beijing, IAF is seeking to urgently procure 21 additional MiG-29 fighter jets from Russia to add to its 3 squadrons of the type already in service. This deal includes 2 trainers, apart from 19 single-seater jets which are already partially manufactured in Russia due to earlier cancelled orders by another foreign source. The deal, if concluded, can cost approximate about $656 million. In addition to it, efforts are in hand to produce 12 additional Su-30 MKI multi-role air superiority fighters, after contract goes through approval with the Russian government. The new order will allow the Indian companies to continue producing the Su-30 MKI line after the order to produce 272 such fighters is completed in 2021. India is already expecting delivery of a batch of 4 Rafale fighter jets, out of 36 contracted from France, by the end of July 2020. The purchase of an additional 33 fighters from Russia would be the first jets to be ordered after the Rafale deal inked in 2017. Economic front. There are reports emerging that indicate there is a growing possibility of breakdown of economic cooperation and trade ties between the two countries. In this background, Indian government is considering to halt more than $600 million in deals with Chinese companies due to rising military tension with China at line of actual control. Officials are reportedly reviewing agreements with 3 Chinese companies which could include some of the largest deals made last week in Maharashtra with Chinese automaker Great Wall Motors, worth nearly $500 million. The other deals involve following: a joint venture with Indian electric bus company PMI with the Chinese industrial manufacturer Hengli Engineering and Beijing-based automaker Photon Motor. Varun Beverages, a supplier of Pepsi, Pep, products in India, and Hiranandani Group, a prominent real estate developer. The preliminary agreements were announced last week as part of a local government initiative to help revive the Indian economy from the coronavirus pandemic. Growth in India was slowing long before the crisis, and GDP is projected to shrink this year for the first time since 1979. Enhanced conflict spectrum. In its ambition to project power, India always wanted Beijing's to accept its primacy in Asia and beyond. New Delhi, thus, has been working, as early as 2007, to double down on its partnership with the US, formed a Quad, comprising US, Japan, Australia and India, a club that seeks to contain Chinese power. The Quad, or Quadrilateral Security Dialogue, is an informal strategic forum for the US, Japan, Australia and India, featuring semi-regular summits, information exchanges and military drills. While not a formal military alliance like NATO, it is seen by some as a potential counterweight to growing Chinese influence and alleged aggression in Asia-Pacific. In this background, as a strategic move, the US has mobilized 3 aircraft carriers, USS Theodore Roosevelt, USS Nimitz, and the USS Ronald Reagan, to patrol the Indo-Pacific waters, an act seen as a warning to China. The strike group warships were spread out, of which USS Theodore Roosevelt and its strike group are operating near Guam, USS Nimitz strike group is in the Pacific off the US West Coast, and USS Ronald Reagan is operating in the Philippine Sea. It is questioned now how China interpret this move and how it counteracts, considering the fact that China and US are already entangled on numerous issues like trade war, Taiwan autonomy, COVID-19 blame game and Hong Kong internal rift, etc. It could now be a crucial moment in history for India to decide whether it will take a neutral role or lean towards the American government when a war is on the horizon. Any significant move to bring US into the conflict spectrum will also antagonize Russia apart from China. It will make China to engage India in a hostile border dispute, which would weaken its economy to the brink that India is no longer a threat, or, it can develop a deterrence that if India participates in any anti-China activities under the leadership of the United States, the military front would be the first of many factors that India would have to consider. This is the end of my video. Thank you for listening to it. Do subscribe to my channel. Comment, like and share my video, also click the bell icon for more videos.